Hello, Sunshine. I'm Coy Wire. This is CNN 10, where we simply tell you the what, letting you decide what to think. Happy Earth Day, Tuesday, April 22nd. More on that in a moment, but we do start with some solemn news today as people around the world continue to mourn the death of Pope Francis. He was 88 years old. Bells tolled in the Vatican after the Pope's death was announced Monday. And despite his poor health, Pope Francis had spent the past week actively serving the Catholic Church, making significant appearances during the Holy Week. He was discharged from the hospital less than 1 month ago after a 38-day battle with pneumonia. Just hours before his death, he made a surprise appearance on the balcony of St. Peter's Basilica for an Easter blessing.
Buona Pasqua.
Pope Francis was known for many firsts in the Catholic faith. He was the first non-European pontiff in nearly 1,300 years, born to Italian migrants in Buenos Aires. He was the first Latin American pope elected in the Church's history. He was also the first pope to choose the name Francis, after the Catholic saint who's known for his compassion for the poor and love of nature. Pope Francis was known as a modernizer of the Church. He was outspoken about humanitarian crises like migration, war, and climate change.
It seems clear to me also that climate change is a problem we can no longer be left to a future generation.
Pope Francis also sought to lead the Church's clergy with a more compassionate and inclusive approach, in part for people who got divorced and for those who are part of the LGBTQ community. He authorized priests to offer blessings to same-sex couples, and he also worked to give greater roles to women working in the Vatican. He will be remembered for taking bolder actions than most popes. In 2016, he washed the feet of Middle Eastern refugees, saying, quote, "Gestures speak louder than words or images," unquote. In March of 2020, he held a striking moment of prayer during the COVID-19 pandemic before a completely empty St. Peter's Square. In his final Easter address, Pope Francis called for an end to violence worldwide and prayed for a ceasefire in Gaza and the release of Israeli hostages. Whether you are one of the more than 1 billion Catholics around the world or not, the Pope was an advocate for so many different people who are suffering. And to honor that, I'll leave you with one of his more memorable quotes. "A little bit of mercy makes the world less cold and more just." Pop quiz, hot shot. What big cat is named after an indigenous word meaning he who kills with one leap? Leopard, puma, cheetah, or jaguar? If you said jaguar, you're right. The largest feline in South America gets its name from the word jaguar, considered the root of the name for the animal in a number of South American indigenous languages. Today is Earth Day, and while some of you may be celebrating by helping out with a community service project or maybe just recycling that soda can, CNN's Bill Weir is witnessing a conservation project years in the making. The jaguar is the largest big cat in South America, but their natural habitat is shrinking rapidly. Jaguars are no longer found in half of their traditional environments, from the southwest U.S. to central Argentina. Now, conservationists led by the former CEO of Patagonia are on a mission to revive Argentina's dwindling jaguar population with the help of a wild-born jaguar named Minnie. Our Bill Weir takes us along on her incredible journey. Check it out.
This beautiful big cat is a wild jaguar. She's smaller than most, so they call her Minnie. And a vet just sedated her ahead of a critical mission that could have a huge impact on her entire species.
The first couple times you went through this process, it must have been exhilarating.
It's exhilarating still, but so many things can go wrong.
So you're worried?
So I'm worried about everybody.
Minnie is set to become the first wild-born jaguar to be relocated for the purposes of conservation.
I saw you combing her hair like a mom.
Yeah. It's a little like that.
Yeah.
It's a little like that.
Christine Tompkins used to be the CEO of the apparel brand Patagonia. She is now an icon of species conservation and earth repair. Along with her late husband Doug, founder of the North Face, the couple was so inspired by the success of the US National Park System that they wanted to replicate it in South America. Fueled by a burning desire to protect the Patagonian wilderness from the ravages of cattle ranches and soy plantations, they purchased 2 million acres in Chile and Argentina. But that didn't feel right. So they decided to give it all away in the largest private land donation in history.
Crazy though it may have seemed to them then, we were doing what we were saying.
Minnie's new home is here, in El Impenetrable National Park. It sits within the second largest continuous forest in South America, called Gran Chaco, stemming from an indigenous word meaning hunting land, and hunt they did. Over centuries here, ranchers hunted the big cats until they were nowhere to be found. But then in 2019, hope! A park ranger discovered the tracks of a solitary male jaguar, and then a second one a little later on. The only problem? No females to mate with, meaning these lone males might have been the last ones left. After a bumpy and dusty ride through the Gran Chaco forest, Minnie's finally set for the first stage of her release. She spends 5 months in this enclosure adjusting to the drier forests of El Impenetrable. Now, with regulatory approval cleared, she's free. But no pressure, Minnie. If she successfully manages to mingle with one of those 2 males, the region's top cat could be back.
So many species were gone, and now, I can honestly say this, they're back, and they're thriving. I mean, we're really proud of what we're doing, and we're not going to stop it, but we need to be looking at a continental scale. This is the Hail Mary pass of conservation. That's how I see it. Yeah. And I'm 74, so I'm not going to see the end of this, but I'm happy about that.
Today's story getting a 10 out of 10, humanoid robo-runners versus real humans in a half marathon. More than 20 bipedal robots and their human helpers competed against thousands of humans in the world's first humanoid half marathon over the weekend in China. And although the tech was impressive, whether physically imposing or not so much, their ability to run was also impressive, but again, not so much. The humanoids got destroyed by the winding course with sloping hills, also by their need to change batteries during the race. Get that robot a reboot or some sleep mode stat. They also got glitched by their human opponents. The fastest robot came in at 2 hours and 40 minutes. The fastest human, 1 hour and 2 minutes. Though the bots got humbled by humans, the race was still symbolic in a way of the nations across the world racing to improve their humanoid technology. All right, we have an extra 10 out of 10 today, and this one is going to you. Check out the moment you all pushed CNN 10 to more than 1 million subscribers on YouTube. Thank you for all the love and the support. Thank you for making us part of your day. And we're still searching for your suggestions on what we're going to do to mark this glorious occasion. That is soon to come. All right, our shout out of the day is going to all our subscribers up in West Lafayette, Indiana, especially those Red Devils at West Lafayette Intermediate School. Rise up. Remember, tomorrow is #YourWord Wednesday. You know the drill. Follow me at CoyWire on the socials, Instagram, TikTok. Put your unique vocab word and definition in the comment section of my most recent post, along with your school, your teacher's name, and mascot if you'd like. And we're going to choose one winner who's going to help us write tomorrow's show with your word. Going out and making it an awesome day, everyone. I'm Coy Wire, and we are CNN 10.